Hey fam, how's it going? We're going to do another tarot reading that is for all signs, all souls, no worries. I may be a Virgo, but I got a lot of Libra in my chart, including my ascendant and my Venus. So I just want to chill and enjoy some balance, you know? All are welcome. And I feel like if you were drawn to this reading, then there's something here for you. And if not, that's okay. It's for somebody else. Whatever resonates and all that good. You know the drill with community reads, right? So for me, if you're new here, I really like sharing messages of encouragement and positive vibes. Sometimes some nitty-gritty creeps on in, but if we're going to get down in the depths, I'm always going to lift you right on back up, fam. No worries. Alrighty, if that sounds good, let's get it going. I have already pre-shuffled. Let's go ahead and cut the decks together, beginning with the archetypes. Ooh, the thread. I love this card. Oh, this is a good card. We get a lot of repeaters when it comes to the archetypes, so don't mind me if I pull out the book again. The path, the vein, the circuit. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously, leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. It's a good card. I love seeing it. I don't get to see it very often in my own personal readings, but I love it when it comes up. This has been such a transformative time. This has been such a time for healing and remembering who we are. Not all the layers that society and our families and cultures and Hollywood and media, all these different marketing firms force onto us, brainwash people with and such, right? But ourselves, what makes our souls purr, right? And thank goodness, because we needed it. We really have needed it. What about the Believe in Your Own Magic Oracle deck? Hey, good morning. The world awaits you, fam. What you gonna do about it, huh? There's been it's almost like breath being held because there's a precipice being experienced, right? Like our toes themselves are over the edge and we're just a little afraid of heights for the moment. Maybe you're not normally afraid of heights, but for right now it's like, whoa, right? Sometimes when we wake up, we're at a funky time in the sleep cycle, right? And we're a little groggier. We need our coffee, tea, what have you. And sometimes we wake up and it's like, wow, there's an energy to it. I kind of lost my train of thought, or not lost it, but got lost in it, if you will. You know what I mean? And I'm really noticing that this is a mermaid, right? But like she's got the window open, right? She's got a good morning stretch going, and that window is open. So all that water, everything is flowing on in. If this were, on land, the dawn would be shining. And you can tell that there is light on the other side of that surface, right? Being able to wake up like that is such a wonderful feeling. I personally have been really struggling to get enough sleep lately, but it's not, eventually that'll wear anybody down. I too am human, but it's been because there's so much energy. I'm trying to find that balance, you know what I mean? And letting the spirits know, like, hey, yo, can I sleep? Can you not interrupt me? Like, I know I'm in my 40s and I gotta get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, but can you let me go back to sleep, please? Maybe some of us are having that Nine of Swords moment, right? And we got a lot on our minds. Hopefully, this is a sign of what's to come. Hopefully, those Nine of Swords are behind you. And now it's because there's so much energy in the air. There's so much to look forward to, and you can feel it. But there are more points to this card, and we're going to turn to the book because I love this one. I know, I love them all, and you're darn right. You are not wrong. Oh, fam. Do you know what? Okay, if you're returning, you're not going to be surprised. They look so happy. Like, okay, I suppose I'll get out of this cozy bed. You've been alive, sure. You've been waking up and doing what you need to get through your day. Going back to sleep, repeat. Have you been living, though? Truly living? I think you need to hear this now more than ever. Your life is incredibly precious. Out there, the world awaits you. Now is the time to make good moments and learn to treasure them as they come. So for those who are new, I ordered this deck off of Amazon, and it was missing one card. So I've made a deal that when I'm drawn to this section of the book, I also read Raindrops. If anyone has a reason to keep their guard up, it's you. People have been known to mistreat you, and like any rational person, you finally got tired of it. Went back inside, locked the door. But you weren't supposed to stay out of the rain forever. No matter how terrifying the prospect may seem, you need to put yourself out there again. Whoever it is you're thinking of, they can be trusted to walk with you through the storm. That one gets me sometimes because just when I think I know who they mean at the end of that paragraph there, I feel like I get bamboozled. You know what I mean? Like, oh, maybe not them. So then who, right? Either way, it's a coaxing. A heck of a lot of coaxing. To draw you out of your shell, hermit, to bring you down off that mountain for at least some visits, and then you can go back and be cozy again. But it's time to open up that front door and leave the house again. Whatever that looks like for you. For some of us, it's still scary. You know what I mean? We are still masking up. Why? Because we need to. Our health requires it. And there's nothing to be ashamed of with that. There's nothing to bully when someone is just trying to take care of themselves. But a part of that is being human and recognizing that even us shy people who do quite well on our own, even we need some camaraderie sometimes. And there are billions upon billions of people out there. And rather than being overwhelmed by that, We need to remember psychology. And psychology, Psych 101 teaches us that if we exist, there are others out there like us. Kindred souls, which is exactly what my channel is for. Drawing in my kindred souls so that you can be reminded that you belong just as much as anyone else. And maybe you don't need that reminder, and that's okay because someone does, and I'm here for it. Hey, fam, what time is it? If you're new here, it's clarification time. We're gonna lighten the mood a wee bit. This is YouTube. It's okay if it's not for you. You got a plethora of options, but otherwise, I like to think of tarot as a story. Sometimes they're individual chapters in a book. Sometimes it's different parts with their own chapters. Either way, I personally love the way each card lines up. Now, what shall be chapter 1? What did I say? What did I say? Some people have been having their sleepless nights where it's really difficult to turn off your brain. You know what I mean? To tell your subconscious, shush right about now. I gotta sleep, right? There are things you're worried about. And the thing about this card and the swords is it's all in your mind. Whatever it is that you've been worried about, what if it's not as bad as you fear? What if you need to let go of those fears and those anxieties? I can't tell you what method works best for you, but I can listen when you tell me. So whether it's meditation or painting or singing and music or just reading a book, you know, I sometimes when I struggle to fall asleep, I have this little word search app on my phone that I dig around with, and that does the trick. You know what I mean? Meditation in and of itself is different for everyone. For some, it is music that enables them. For some, it's guided meditations right here on YouTube or apps like Headspace and whatnot, right? A lot of people have been being sponsored by Aura, right? And for some, it's their breath. Either way, our breath guides us and enables us, right? Whatever it looks like for you, it's time to enable your mind some peace. Stop the loops, however. No, and I don't like too many of us turn to substances, whether it's alcohol or, you know, and sometimes that in and of itself is getting in the way, fam. So I am not recommending that. I am merely suggesting that maybe it's not as bad as you fear. And I want to remind of what my favorite Neville Goddard quote is. It's a question. How would you feel if you were free? Sometimes we have particular ideas, particular outcomes that we're looking forward to. And because those particulars haven't happened, we keep looping. We're supposed to be focusing on how you would feel if you were free. If you didn't have to worry about those bills. If you didn't have to worry about anyone you're taking care of or, you know, whatever your stressors may be. How would you feel if you simply did not have that stress and anxiety clinging to you just as deep, just as strong as you cling to them, right? Because it's time to let go. You have no one to fight anymore, no one to battle. Please stop battling yourself. What's going to be chapter 2? My goodness gracious, do you think the cards are trying to make another point? What I like, not only do we have this person who has gone so far as to wall themselves in with the swords. They've blindfolded themselves. They've bound themselves. They can't see that right in front of them is wide open. But they're wearing red. And red not only speaks of passions, but love. our own beating hearts. And whereas this person is wearing white, a color for innocence and purity, you also have white sheets. This person's bonds are in white. And this card to me is very similar to the Hanged Man, except it's more torturous. You are holding yourself back, which, you know, we're the only ones who can. We're the only ones who should be able to have that kind of power over ourselves, right? So, you know, kudos on that. But their bonds are white. Their blindfold is white. There's a lot that you have experienced that you did not deserve. So rather than continue to go through that pain, rather than continue to suffer through trauma and whatnot, you've closed yourself off, literally. But the similarity to the Hanged Man, for me, is I don't think their hands are bound. I think that this person's hands are holding the ropes, and they can drop them at any time. Again, whatever helps you without hindering, without self-infliction anymore, okay? Whether it's meditation, just going for a walk at dawn, if you feel safe to, of course, right? Whatever security looks like for you. It's time to release the bonds. It's time to remove the blindfold and see that you are capable of saving yourself, providing for yourself, right? Get out of the way. Your soul longs to live, to thrive, and for you to remember that you have every right to. You deserve joy. You deserve love. You deserve to fulfill your passions, your wants and needs. You deserve to be provided for by the divine universe, whatever that is for you. These are cards of self-infliction. You don't deserve that, fam. I don't care who put it into your head. It wasn't love who hurt you. It wasn't love and care and the willingness to open yourself to others that hurt and betrayed you. It was particular people, and that is on them. Okay? What's going to be chapter 3? Boosh. It is time for harmony. To me, this is the card of working in concert, working like co-creating is what I mean, with the divine universe. They are there to help you, but you always have free will, right? They're not going to force you. There may be moments that fate steps in and says, hey, are you sure this is what you want to experience anymore? You've been caught in a loop, and we've been dangling a thread this whole time. Right? I don't think God and the divine are going to test us. Personally, I don't believe in that. I don't think anyone tests us, including ourselves. I think that if you're not learning the lesson, if you're not moving on, then you're just doomed to repeat history. Our minds create our reality, right? So if you've learned your lessons, if you figured out the red flags and what you don't ever want to experience again, then it's time to trust yourself and figure out how to, right? Trust how capable you are, because the divine universe, spirit, your ancestors, they know how capable you are. I always say that we're the quarterbacks. We're the MVP of every game. You know what I mean? And we get to call the shots and say, this is what I want. These are the things I long for. These are my needs. And it's time for them to be met. And I am grateful. Right? As far as I'm concerned, as long as we're the ones, us individuals, we're the ones at the chisel, I have nothing to complain about. You know what I'm saying? It's time to get out the voices of others right on out of your head. And remember the sound of your own thoughts. Retrain your subconscious on how to speak to you. All that negative self-talk needs to get right on out of here. We're clearing the space and we're allowing positivity and love. We're opening ourselves back up to the divine universe. Again, whatever that means for you. Because quite frankly, even if you're Christian, you got the Holy Spirit within you. Right? It's time to stop insulting your own intelligence. Oh, there's a loud car. It's time to stop the self-infliction and open yourself back up and enjoy being able to see those red flags coming from a mile away. Hey-o, welcome. Boosh, see? Look at that. That's a heck of a lot of swords, fam. You're being reminded to remove them from your heart because it wasn't your heart that led you astray. You have no idea how much you have managed to inspire others, right? Sometimes it can feel like we love and we remind people that they can be loved and then they move on to somebody else. That's their journey. This is yours. And you didn't do anything wrong. Your heart didn't do anything wrong. I like to think of my heart and all the heartbreaking and everything that I've experienced in life, and I just like stitch it back up, right? So now it kind of looks like Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas, right? But you know what happens when you stitch it back up? You know what scars enable our hearts to do? Grow in size. In a way, right? Makes us stronger, more resilient. Those people in their own journey, on their own path and how they go about things have shown us what not to do. Right? You know better now. And it's okay to trust yourself. There are going to be times when you get triggered, but that's just your heart and your mind bringing something up to your attention. It's like, hey, it's time to heal this now. It's time to love and nurture this aspect of yourself now, your past, your memories. That's all a part of the journey, right? Sometimes we can get a little cocky and then some seemingly nonchalant thing, a song or whatever will kind of happen and it's like, whoa, it's almost like a gut punch, right? Because it's all a part of the process. And now it's time to heal that because nothing, no one, including ourselves, should be holding us back. The way is clear. You don't actually have any obstacles. They're illusions. And we're letting go of the illusions of this world. We're letting go of the brainwashing from commercials and media and Hollywood trying to tell us what to like, tell us how to decorate and which cars to buy, right? Because we know darn well what we actually like. What's going to come up underneath the Nine of Swords? Oh my goodness, because we're worried about is the rest of our lives and the things that we long to do. But once we let it go, fam, and there's the plane, where shall we go next? 9, 10, 8, 9, 10. We got a lot of like, look at that. We got, what is that? 70 and 40 and 2 3s 8, 9, 10. My goodness, the numbers are numbering this round, eh? 10 isn't just, oh, what a great harvest we had this season. 10 is your legacy. It's not only your kids having a good life, it's your grandkids having a great life. You know what I mean? All of this hard work, all of these lessons you've been trying to learn and figure out for yourself is enabling you. Once you open up, once you let go of those fears, which can be really difficult, I'm not here to discredit. I'm sorry if anything I've said has sound like I'm condescending in any way. That's not my intention, so I'm sorry. These are reminders. Someone really needs these reminders. And sometimes, quite frankly, so do I. This is the rest of your life. No wonder why you've been so worried. You've worked so hard. It's time to open yourself up to the abundance that you've asked for. This card up here could also be a matter of getting a new job and being able to work like I, ended up saying. That wasn't what I meant to say earlier. Clearly it was meant to come out. Working in concert together. Even if you're working from home. Even if you're the one person in your section doing that stuff and rocking it. Thank you. It's working with others in harmony. It's understanding that all of your hard work is coming to fruition as soon as you allow it to. As soon as you remember that you do deserve it. You do. That was an interesting tapping or whatever that sound was. I don't know if the microphone picked up on it. That was clearly a point that needed to come through, that all of your hard work is able to come to fruition. You just can't give up on yourself, okay? Please don't give up on yourself. The world needs you, apparently. That's what Spirit is wanting you to know. The world needs you. The world needs your energy. Please don't lock yourself away. Okay? 10 is also a completion of a cycle. And apparently this is an incredible one. What's going to come up underneath the 8 of Swords? The Magician. Manifestations, anyone? You've been trying. And all I have to say about that is you're not done yet. Like Monty Python, I'm not dead yet. Done tootin', you're not. My goodness gracious. Thank goodness. Because your energy is clearly needed in this world. You don't need to put the weight of the world on your shoulders in order to do your part. Release the tethers, release your bonds, and understand that just being you is good enough. You have all of the tools, all of the resources that you could possibly need to do what you want to do, starting with yourself. This person. You notice the theme here and how they're dressed? Anyone? Bueller? Thumbnail. Once you let go of your fears and doubts, once you open yourself up to receive all of the help that you've been asking for, that you've been praying for to the divine, you can be showered with it. Okay? You need to believe in you know what? Forget anyone else if they can't believe in you. That's their problem. They probably don't even know how to believe in themselves, and that's their journey. You have no idea what an example you are, just being you. All right? What's going to come up underneath the 3 of Pentacles? The 2 of Swords. Yet again, some more swords. This card has really frustrated me. That's not why it's the one card in my deck that's bent. Although I continue to find it interesting. That is correct. Sometimes it can be really frustrating when only so much is illuminated by the moon, right? We like to make our plans. We like to set things up, do our spreadsheets, if you will. But the thing is you already know enough. You've been through so much and have gained so much wisdom. So either there are those who simply have been living very indecisive. Nothing has worked out in the past quite the way they've intended, the way they've longed for, the way they've tried so hard. And you may be feeling as though if your best isn't good enough, then what the heck does anyone expect of you? Why bother? Fam, your best has always been good enough. You have always been good enough. And if others haven't been able to see that, fuck them. Pardon my language, but I'm serious. That's their problem. That's their journey. And all that we can do is hope for the best for them. You know what I mean? Why are you putting so much weight to the words of people who aren't even able to match your vibe? Who are lost on their own paths, looping themselves into a tizzy and taking it out on you. Hurt hurts. And that's a part of the deal, right? You've been trying to lock yourself away so that you don't take your shit out on others. That's very considerate of you, fam. But now it's time for you to be considerate for yourself. Even not doing anything, even choosing nah, is a choice. It's been a choice to lock yourself up and torture yourself. How's that been working out for you? Being such a people pleaser and bending over so far backwards that you're upright again, that didn't work out for you. And now this hasn't really been working out for you either, has it? But we have more numbers going on, don't we? 2, 3, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. Fam. Goodness, don't mind me. I have dyscalculia, or however it's pronounced. It's basically dyslexia, but numbers. I see numbers and my brain tends to drop out of my bum. But, tarot has really been trying to help me with that because the numbers be numbering. My goodness gracious. Everything works out in divine timing. Again, whatever that means for you. You have the power to do what you're meant to do the things that make your soul purr. I like to refer to this card as the never again card, because swords are the mind, and you've been gaining wisdom the entire way on this adventure. That resiliency, that never again. Never again. It's time to open yourself up to receive your manifestations, to receive and live the rest of your life the way you've always longed to. What's going to come up underneath the 3 of Swords, fam? Boom. Justice. Karma. And balance is being restored. That's quite an incredible set of major arcana, wouldn't you say? Maybe I'll use that for the thumbnail. Were you laughing earlier when I was like, hey, let's do a thumbnail. Haha, you so funny. Yeah, I know. I like to giggle. There was one time I was working at a place, maybe you can relate to this, where the boss man, like after I'd just been giggling pretty well, thank you very much, mentioned to the Krabby McGee on our team that, God, I can't stand gigglers. And they were like, yeah, me too. But you know what ended up happening? that grumpy old boss man would actually send me memes that would end up, igniting my giggles. And that Krabby McGee, when, we'd all go down for like the company Christmas party or whatever the heck was going on that day, right? They would come to me and start chit-chatting me up. So what was that I was saying earlier about how you have no idea how you affect others, how you inspire others, the type of influence that you have? Funny how things work out that way, right? So you be you and understand that fate is always going to fate, but you still have your free will. And you don't deserve to imprison yourself in your own mind. Let go of the loops. Okay? Because once again, these are lining up in very interesting ways. You're so worried about your future, but your future is looking pretty darn bright to me. You might need some shades, all right? And here, things never work out. I'm incapable. I keep messing things up. I mean, not when you're doing what makes your soul purr. Not when you're living your life instead of fulfilling the expectations of others. Never again. It's time to enjoy harmony and things coming to fruition. All of your hard work and persevering paying off, and balance being restored. Karma following through like it always does. Justice is being served. That's two. Nope, that's not another 9 for some. Hello, dyscalculia. This is an 11 card. 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3. Points are being made, fam. Points are being made. What's on the... Oh, no, I almost jumped ahead. My goodness. Now I'm really curious as to what's on the bottom of the tarot deck. My goodness gracious. What's the epilogue to this story? Boosh. See? You've been working hard, determined, cutting out the distractions. This person has left town. They're on the outskirts, man. They're determined. No distractions. They know what they're doing. They know how important this is. And maybe you have yet to see things happening in the 3D, right? I ask you, are you sure about that? Are you sure there aren't even small little things that you could be celebrating because you've come so far? Are you sure? It's okay to celebrate even the small things. Joy belongs in your life. It's not being selfish. It's not being full of yourself to recognize how far you've come and to be proud of yourself. It's okay. It's okay for you to have what you want. This could be learning a new skill, right? Because you're done working those jobs that, maybe it was like, well, my resume is full of XYZ and I'm freaking sick of that. It can be scary to start anew, but it's time for that ABC of a different alphabet, a different language. And you've been honing that skill. Maybe you've gone back to school. Maybe you really have started a new job and you've been feeling like a novice, and goodness gracious, that's uncomfortable too. Maybe that's a part of your anxiety. Like, I keep fumbling, but you're learning, fam. You're learning. That's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. Don't beat yourself up for it. You don't deserve that. You keep trying. That in and of itself is incredible. The fact that you still can. Everything that you've been through. Our heart is such a vital organ. It is just as vital as our minds. And they work in concert together along with our soul, that spark within us, that thread that we should never let go of ever again, because the world awaits you, fam. The rest of your life, your manifestations, and the fact that never again will you experience that crap. Why? Because you know better now. You don't even want to see it. You don't even want to look at it. It's time to draw in like a magnet your manifestations, your wants, your needs, your hopes, your dreams, okay? And you've been earning that. You deserve it, okay? Yeah, sure, maybe I don't deal with reversals, but so what? What? What's on the bottom? Goodness gracious, fam, why? You know what I like to point out about this card that has a tendency to speak on lack, certainly a mentality of lack, is you notice that they're not just sitting there. They're not just crouched under that stained glass window. They're in movement. They are always moving forward. To me, the bottom of the deck is the main gist, the main vibe of what's going on. And you've been feeling lack. You're missing out on something, but you don't want to. You have a longing, and that's what you've been working toward. That's what you've been trying to manifest, right? I like to say, what if the door is right here? And that's what they're moving toward. What if this is not a church? It's their new home. Right? What if you're not alone in this? If you open yourself up, what if you don't have to be alone? Oh, fam, I would hug you if I could. If you're a hugger, you don't have to be. I can respect that. You know, like whatever fits, whatever equivalent, right? What are the extra notes for this one? I'm always like, I'm not gonna do such a long reading this time. I'm gonna just get to it, and then next thing I know, we're at the 40-minute mark. Balance. Even the ego is meant to be a part of us. It's among those things that should not have control over us. Help does not equal dictation. So maybe you've been having to listen to people yappity yap about what you should be doing. Oh, well, you know, we're not seeing, you know, blah, 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 what we're expecting from blah, blah, blah. It's really obvious what the next card is, eh? So what? They can just shush and live their own lives. Just because somebody else is speaking to you doesn't mean that you need to heed their advice, including me. You know what I mean? Take what resonates. That's how life works. You know what resonates with your soul. You know what lights a fire under your booty. Right? I am that I am. Damn right you are, fam. I like to do my affirmations and such because I too have been retraining my subconscious. This has been a week. This is like the last few days, not being able to sleep. You're darn tootin', I use affirmations. That and meditation are really incredible free resources. Our subconscious, I say this all the time, our subconscious doesn't care. It doesn't have feelings. It has no bias. It's spitting back up what it's been taught. And that's why things like affirmations help people so much. It's retraining your subconscious. I personally have an affirmation channel that I created called Amy's Affirmations. Okay? Where I share the things like, you know, my affirmations are constantly evolving and growing, so there will be new ones that I add, right? But it helps. It works when you allow them to. And something tells me that you know exactly what the heck I'm talking about. But when I do affirmations, if I kind of facilitate, whatever. I go between words. I go between going up through the chakras. I am for the root. I feel for the sacral. I do for the solar. I love for the heart. I speak for the throat. I see for that third eye. I understand. I know for the crown. And sometimes it's just I love. I love being me. I love that my mind has become a playground once more. I love that I have everything I need. What's on the bottom of this deck? My spirit is now unbound and limitless. And I included, what is it, the chorus to that song, Limitless? I refuse to just exist. I'd rather shoot and miss. So I'm gonna raise my fist and live it limitless. So what if something doesn't quite work the way you intended on? That's okay. Thank goodness you tried. The fact that you can still keep trying, that you haven't given up on yourself, it is incredible. It really is. It takes a lot of strength and courage to be able to do so. And the wonderful thing is, now that you've learned so much, you are so capable, and nothing's going to be the same, fam. Nothing. Oh, thank you so much for joining me in this reading. Thank you for sticking it out through to the end. Even if you sped me up, it's all good. I don't mind. I appreciate the company. And if you enjoyed it, if this matched your vibe, maybe you'll consider giving me a subscription. You know, you don't have to pay. Just boop, press a button and give this video a like and all that good. I really appreciate your company. And always remember, if not forever, that I love you.